What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is a special day because we are doing something different today. And this is something that we're going to try to do, throughout the year of 2024. But today is special. Not only is it special because, what we have going on, but it's because of the person that I'm bringing on. This sister here has been with me, helping me navigate through some problems, situations that I have been facing. And her story, I feel, is going to change a lot of people's lives. So I'm not going to say any more. I'm here to introduce one and only my sister, Miss Vanessa Bell. Let's bring her up.
Hey,
Hi. How
that
are
was,
you?
I'm good. That was such a nice introduction.
Look, I could have went on and on, but we're not gonna do that. You're here. I'm not gonna steal the light. But how are you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain. Life is good. Baby's good. Kids good. Everything's good.
Amazing. And the baby on the way. How was that one? How was that one
Uh,
coming?
Apparently she's doing great. I had a doctor's appointment, so they said that she is moving and she's growing like she's supposed to be. So I'm thankful. Can't
Amazing.
complain.
Amen. Amen. So thank you, first off, for just taking this at such short notice. It was what, a couple of days that we had, just to prepare for this. So thank you,
Right.
thank you, thank you for not, just saying, you know what, Kayla, no, we can't do this. We ain't gonna be doing this. Um, but so slightly, who are you and what can you tell our listeners about who you are?
Um, First off, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter of God. That's what I should have led off with. Loved by God. That's who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been doing it full time now for is it a year? It'll be a year in March. The end of
Okay.
March, full time entrepreneur. Um, and what else? I love to laugh and just enjoy life. That's a part of who I am. But I mean, there's many sides to me, many roles that I play. But
Absolutely.
that's the gist.
That's the gist.
That's
Awesome. So
the
I got some
gist.
questions I have some questions written down. I don't want to throw out because you know how we get off track whenever we start
Right,
to talk.
right.
So,
That's okay.
um, so what is the hardest challenge you have to sorry. What is the hardest challenge you've overcome in your life?
Ooh, that's a great question. So let me think about it because there's been a couple of challenges. Um, I want to say the hardest challenge was for me so far is I'll say one of the first challenges that I faced was getting pregnant in college. Getting
Oh, wow.
pregnant in college and having my son being a single mom. That was a challenge. It wasn't something that I was prepared for.
Mhm.
It wasn't planned apparently. It wasn't planned, but it was something that definitely shaped who I am in my life right now. So, just trying to navigate what does it mean to be a mom? Because I mean, I had no idea. I mean, my mom was there. I'm so glad for the support that I had from my parents, my brothers. I had a lot of great support, but it wasn't without its challenges. Like I said, I had him in college, and my mom and my dad, they helped me out by taking him while I went back to school. And that was
Oh,
one of
wow.
the hardest things that I had to do. I was a sophomore when I got pregnant. So when I had to go back to school after I had him, it was my junior and senior year that I was away from him. So it was the first 2 years of his life. That was
Okay.
challenging, because, some moms, they make the decision to put their life on hold, until their kids grow up before they decide to, go after what they want. And I decided that I have to finish. My parents also told me they wouldn't help me if I didn't finish. So that was that was challenging, being so far away from him not being able to see him every day when the first, 4 months of his life,
Mhm.
I saw him constantly and then I had to go back. So um that was a challenge. And then coming back and inserting myself into his life after he's been, with my mom and, he has routine and everything, and just seeing how my role as his mom fit in. That was another challenge to face. So,
Oh wow. So it's crazy because my first when I had her, it was a challenge, but we were married. So I think parenthood period or motherhood anyway is a challenge in itself. Regardless of when you had them, how you had them, what stage of your life you had them, you're going to be faced with some challenges. So thank you for sharing that because there are some women out there that think that their life has stopped because they had kids in school or in college or what have you. So thank you for sharing that. And I see like we're gonna keep going because I know your life didn't stop there. So that's
no,
amazing.
no, and I do want to say that, women who get in this situation, your life, it shouldn't stop. Like, however you have to figure out to, go after your dreams and stuff, go after what it is, your goals that you're accomplishing, but before the baby got, came in, it shouldn't stop. Someone, they just, for whatever reason, that may be something they want to do. They're just like, hey, I just want to be a mom right now, and that's okay. If that's what you want to do, not because I have no other options, no other resources, I have to stop this. No, that was not my mentality. The only thing that kept in my head was, with my son, I never wanted him to feel like he was a burden when he came in, or that, oh snap, my mom can't do nothing because I messed up her life. I wanted him to see me, no, my mom is out there getting it, and she's not quitting. He came to my graduation, he was right there for those, big moments, and I just never wanted him to see me quit. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I know he's proud of you now. So that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Another question. Share some of your goals that you're pursuing right now.
Okay, so some of my goals, one of my lifelong goals has been to write a book. That's
Okay.
something that I decided to just get out there and do. I've been saying for the last, I want to say 5 to 7 years, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And, I would start and then fall off and, just not be dedicated, not be committed. And, and I don't know if it was because the right thing to write about just didn't come, or I don't know. Or I was lazy. It could have been that too. But I decided this year, no, it's on my vision board. I need to, put some action behind it and get out there and do it. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm writing a book. I work with my husband in our business. We're real estate investors. So one of the goals that we have is to increase our annual income. Uh, Actually, I think we're increasing it by the quarter. It's a big lofty goal, but we're pursuing it to increase to $100,000, for the year, or just keep incrementally increasing it every quarter.
Okay.
That's one of the things that we're doing, and we're doing that through. We've been fixing and flipping for the last 2 years, and we're looking now to hold property, get into the midterm rental space. We've been Airbnb in our house. We've been doing that since 2021. We built it in 2020, the end of 2020. And then he was just like, hey, we should Airbnb just to see what it's like, practice on our own house. And I'm just like, oh, okay. That's a story in itself. Just to see how that started. And I
Right.
had questions, but when he said it, it wasn't a straight out no. It was more like a, yeah, this sounds dope. Let's go for it. But then I had questions on the how part, like how is this gonna work? I don't
Right.
want to move my stuff back to your parents' house. We had been living there for like 6 months while the house was being built. I'm just like, as long as we don't gotta do that and we can figure that part out, I'm game. So that was a thing in itself. So yeah, we're looking to build this year, um,
Right.
and build fast. We got another baby on the way, so it's just like, yeah, we just want to do be consistent in the stuff that we're doing. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are you doing currently to make sure you're consistent in that?
so one of the things that I do, I plan the day. We plan our week on Sundays and then plan, every day the night before. Planning helps me. I'm a routine person, so I like to keep a schedule. I do like to, include flexibility in that. Like, Lord, here's the schedule that I wrote out. Is there some way you want to intervene? Is there something else that I should be doing, or should I arrange my schedule in a certain way for it to flow better? So I like to invite God in to interrupt my day. So in those times when I'm doing that, I find that I'm the most productive. I get a lot of stuff done. Sometimes I'm sticking to the schedule that I wrote, and sometimes God is just like, "Hey, you should do this first. This is priority, and then do that." And so I've been learning how to be flexible with my schedule, and if I write it down, I'm committed to it. Um, if I don't write it down, then it's up in the air, nothing gets done. So I know for myself, I have to write things down. That's been helping with consistency. And just having the mindset to I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. It's like if you say you're gonna do something, this is how you build confidence to get to where you want to go. Every time you say you're gonna do something and then you decide not to, it just takes a piece of your confidence away. And then if you keep on doing that, then you're like, oh God, why is my life like this? So those are the things that I'm working on. I'm a very disciplined person. So like I said, I like to keep to my schedule, do what I say I'm gonna do. And I would like to say my time meditating in the morning has been helpful. As you know, we started doing meditation and just I was already having like quiet time with God and just, spending time with Him, reading the Bible and everything like that. That's how I like to start my day. I wake up before everybody else in the house, so I'm not getting pulled on. I get to have, my quiet time to just sit and think, and then I go about my day when my family's up and take the kids to school. Whatever Keith needs me to do, I'm doing it, or the stuff that I've had planned for the day. So
I love it, and I love what you're referring to, because everything that Kes has been talking about, like, and put it, honestly, I didn't take it serious before. And I know
right,
there are some women, like, I'm the opposite of you. You love to write. You love to, set these things in order. I'm the opposite. I'm just gonna wing it, right? But I realized but I realized I wasn't getting nothing done, right?
right.
And so I didn't really start intentionally writing things down until this year.
That's
Like,
good.
it's so critical. That is a piece. And even in, and let's talk Bible, right? Because
Right,
we're built on faith. In
right,
Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write your vision and make
right.
it plain. Like,
Exactly.
how are you gonna move in that direction if you don't even know where you're going?
Exactly. And then having clarity on where you're going, like keeping that in the forefront. We did that what was it? That one group session that we did where Kez talked about the like getting your dreams, like it was something. I wrote it down. Dang, I wish I remembered it. But something where like seeing your future, like latching onto your future and stuff.
Mm,
And I don't know, that day it just made sense. And I'm just like, yeah, man, just being clear. I feel like I'm pretty clear on what I want, but I could be clearer, be more specific. So
right.
having that just intentionally, and that's another thing that I've been doing for this year, just intentionally writing down, my goals, what is it that I'm going towards. Like, or even
Mhm.
myself, I have 4 things that I said that I was going to start doing this year, and it was working on myself, investing in myself. I'm going to believe in myself, know that I have value, I am valuable, and what I say has to matter, and then being myself. And I came to the revelation, like being myself means accepting who I am right now today, knowing that I'm going towards growth, but I'm going to be me in it, and just trusting, God to lead me in the things that I'm doing. But those 4 things I've been intentionally just working on. I've defined it for myself, what it looks like, as we
Oh,
getting on this,
wow.
know what it is. And so I write it down
Yes.
every day in my journal just to keep it at the forefront of my mind. This is what I'm doing, like just different
Wow.
things and just planning that out. And let me tell you, it's been life changing for me. because it's just like now I'm keeping it in the forefront. I'm not forgetting it. I'm not saying, oh, this is what I want, and then 3 months later I've forgotten, what I'm saying. I'm just intentionally just keeping it before my face.
I love it. I love it. Amazing. Okay. So this kind of leads into what you were just talking about, because we know, like, setting goals, setting things that you want to achieve in life, there's going to be challenges that come with those. So, the next question: faced with challenges, whether it is personal, work, or business, how do you navigate through them?
Okay, so let me tell you, I have a partner that's amazing.
Okay.
So he's like I used to, I don't really know how I would navigate challenges. I just know that in my head it was, I got to get through this, so I'm just going to do it.
Mhm.
And after being working with him in business and facing all types of challenges, one of the things that I love about him is he's so creative. Like he never lets anything get him down. And he, if something comes up like, oh snap, we went over budget on this, how are we going to do this, his whole thing is, we can figure it out. We can figure it out.
Absolutely.
And so, like, when challenges come, and by the way, we went, like I told you before, we went to a conference in January. And one of
Mhm.
the things that we saw John Maxwell live, one of the things he talked about to help you see past where you're at, or see more, if you want more out of life, he was saying that you have to have creativity, opportunity, and excellence. And he defined creativity as knowing that there's an answer. And so I took those three things, knowing that there's an answer, that's creativity. Opportunity is knowing that there's more than one answer. And then excellence is knowing that there's a better answer, asking, how can I do this better? Or what can I do to make this situation better? Look,
Mm.
Kayla, when I came back from that conference and started implementing that, I mean, there's certain areas where I can do that naturally, but then there are other areas where I'm not so great at it in. I'm just
Mhm.
like, I started applying what he said, and it's just like ideas just started flowing. It's just like, okay, so this problem came up. Okay, I know that there's an answer to this problem.
Right.
Okay, so I know that God is going to give us the answer, whether that's through, him speaking, or another person, or looking it up, like whatever. There's an answer that's for this, this problem. And then knowing there's more than one answer, so I'm not stuck, I'm not bottlenecked in, this situation. That was another thing that was helpful. And then knowing, asking myself, okay, how can I make this better?
Mhm.
It's been uh it's been dynamic in helping with challenges. Now the challenges, I mean, they come, but it's not so overwhelming where I'm just like, you know what, I need to take an hour or two to get myself together, and then, come back. Now it's just like, okay, I know what this is. Okay, there's an answer for this. It's just a matter of time before we figure out the answer to it, and then there's more than one answer. So
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love how, like, 2 points to what you were just saying. One, it takes time for everything. Everything is in its own timing. Like, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen the next day, but it's gonna happen. So you gotta stay consistent and be persistent with it, right? And
exactly.
then another thing that I love is that you said people. So you went to a conference, like, you're meeting people. So networking is a big piece to, growing, especially in business. Personal too. Like, you want to meet your husband or you want to meet your wife, right? So
Right.
the same way as personal, you want to do the same thing in business. So you want to keep
Exactly.
your circle, tight knit. And what I love is that, and what I love about our relationship together, right? We are like a sisterhood that we want the best for each other. Like,
Right.
we're not, worrying about the housewives of Atlanta, or,
No,
anything like that. We be
not at
talking
all.
we be talking Bible, we be talking God, and we be talking goals, kids, and a lot of people think, oh, that's boring. It's not boring. That's
Nah.
life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you're
another
looking at
level.
somebody. Yes, you're looking at somebody else's life on TV, but
Right.
you get what I'm saying? Like, you're not wanting to live your
Exactly.
own. So I love how, when I talk to you and I'm faced with challenges, how you can just look at it in a whole different perspective. Like, Kayla, do this
Right.
way, right? And I'm
Right.
like, It'd be so simple. And then I think about it, I'm like, oh wow, right? Like when you were talking and that, and I remember that, and I want to share it.
Okay.
When we were talking the other day, and I was telling you how I've always helped people. Like I'm always wanting to help people. If I see a need or somebody in need, I always want to help people. But sometimes it's not my place to help them,
Exactly.
right? And the thing that you said was, Kayla, why are you playing God? And when you said that at first, it hit me. But then I was like at ease, like, hold on. Like I was like, oh my God,
Exactly.
I never thought about it like that. Right? Like if somebody, if and we even use those examples, and you made a really good example of how you helped someone. And then after you helped her, she just kept asking and asking and asking. And so at that point, she was just like, let me see, you know what I'm saying, how much I can get from this person. So when you help somebody, and I'm talking to the listeners now, when you help people and all they do is do this right here when they see you, then that was not your place to do it.
Yeah.
Because
You got
now they're like, go ahead.
No, I was just saying you got to be led on the things that you're doing. And like I told you, for me, it's always God, what do you want me to do in this situation? Like sometimes it's, I may have a dream or something, and it like God just leads me. And I'm just like, okay, like something just dropped in my spirit. Like the day I reached out to you, I'm just like, hey, we should talk and stuff. And that was God, saying that. I didn't know what you needed at the time. I like to listen and be obedient. If he tells me to do something, then, I'm down for it. But the thing is, there's nothing wrong with giving to people. I am such a giver. I love to give to people, and I like doing it quietly because it's just like I love just coming in sneak attack. I just listen to people, and I'm just like, God, if you want me to do something with this, and I just hear things, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it. And I'm so glad that I married somebody that's a giver with me, because I used to wonder about that before I got married. I'm just like, I'm out here, and if God tells me to give the last thing in my bank account, I'll do it, you know. And
Hmm.
it's just like I know He'll tell me for a reason, because it's always going to come back, and it's going to come back
Mm-mm.
more. And I've seen situation after situation where I've done this, and it just multiplies. So I'm just like, man, I'm going to need somebody with a generous heart like mine. And because I just go. But it's also being wise about what it is that you're doing, understanding like you can help people, but you don't step in the way of them being able to, if they are believers in Christ, to hear from God or depend on Him to be that source for Him. I'm just a resource. I'm just His hands going to, do things. But it's up to them to, hey God, I need you,
Right.
or even if you
Yes.
don't if you don't believe in God, which is cool, I'm cool with that. Understanding that you can find the resources that you need. You don't have to look, go into the person and, not saying you begging and stuff like that, but you always tapping out and not realizing what that's doing to another person, not
Absolutely.
allowing them to have that ability to choose, instead of, making them feel guilty and feel bad, like, oh man, I'm gonna try to help, but I don't know if I can. And then you're guilt tripped into it because you feel bad. No, I don't like I don't like living like that. But hey, teach his own. That's
Absolutely. So you answered another question I was going to ask, like what kind of routine do you do to like just go about life? And I love how you said, you meditate, you ask God. And I think that is one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't do. They never insert God. They insert God whenever they need help. When they made a
exactly
big mess and they're like, oh shoot, what do I
right.
do from
Right.
here?
When a big problem has come around, man, and I can't say that I wasn't, that person, but it got to the point where for me, I realized that I need God every day, every minute, second. I don't know if there's something shorter than a second, but that too, I need Him. I
Right.
need Him to show me what to do. Um, just I love just spending time with Him. I love One of the things, I don't even know if I told you this. So me and God, we have this thing. When He want to talk to me, He wakes me up with song. And our song, and I told my husband about this, he just laughed. Our song is Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell. The
Mhm.
first time it happened to me, I hadn't heard this song in a long time. And I'm just like, is that can we talk? Like, can we talk for a minute? And I'm just like, what in the world? And I get up and I go downstairs to my room, and I start by thanking God for waking me up and everything like that.
Mhm.
And then read my Bible for a bit. But that day, he was just pouring into me. And I think I have this Facebook, I shared it on Facebook what happened. And I'm just like, it was so amazing. I can't even remember what it was that, God shared, but I was just so, the thing that I took from it, I was just so astounded. Like, God, wait, we have a song? Like, God is relational. We have a song together. Like, anytime he want to really, really talk to me, get something to me, Tevin Campbell song comes up, and I hear it. I'm just like, immediately I get up because I'm just like, I know you have something important to say, so I'm gonna spend time with
Wow.
you. So that,
Oh
like,
wow.
that's an important part. I'm just like, man, I gotta start my day, and it's not even just the morning. Like, even throughout the day, finding time to thank God for something, or hey God, what should I do about this? Even the small things. Like, another thing that I love about God is he cares about the things that you care about, even how small. When I was working the 9 to 5, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a forgetful person. If I don't do my stuff the night before, I'm guaranteed to leave it. Have to turn back around. Thankfully, I get up early enough where it doesn't, do too much damage to my schedule. But
Mhm.
God, he would remind me, hey, you forgot your earrings. Hey, your phone. Hey, your ring. It's like, what? I'm like, and I just be like, God, what you do? Like, the small things, the small things. He just want to spend time. So
Right. Like it's crazy because it's like a relationship, right? Like with your spouse. Your
exactly,
spouse wants time, quality time with you. Your kids
exactly,
want quality time with you. God wants quality time with you. And so if
exactly.
you're not giving him that quality time, it's like neglect,
It
right?
is.
You're neglecting your spiritual man. And so I'm learning more now because I got busy with work where it was like a routine. Like when you were, and it's crazy because I was comfortable. And what I love, and it's a story like Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
He was comfortable. He was living. He was yielding to God. But then, in the middle of his life, he had his yielded blessings. So all of these years of him just praising God and giving to God and whatever else. Now all of these years he just had this moment where he was like, I'm living the life that I always wanted. So what's the point, right? And so when we get our blessings, when we get those things from God, we start to forget about him. Like now we're too busy
Exactly,
with the things, right? And
exactly,
so that was my problem where I was so busy with, oh, I got this going on and oh, I'm too
exactly,
busy and I got a meeting and I got the kids and I got to do this. And I never took a moment out of the day to say, you know what, God, thank you. Thank you
exactly.
for
Thank you. Just a simple thank you. Like, I have breath in my lungs. I'm alive. Thank you.
Yes. And it's like so simple. Something that simple would mean the world to him. Right.
Right.
And so we got to get back into that routine. I feel like that's what a lot of us have done was we're in that yielded point where we don't, oh, I got what I needed. I don't need him anymore. No, it's a continuous thing.
Yeah.
Long as you still have breath in your body, you
Exactly.
you are still his. Like, but
Exactly.
what I love about when we talk is always, we always give credit to him. And like I was telling you Sunday when we had a conversation, I was telling you how and our story is different. That's why I want to bring so many women on here because
Right.
everybody is different. Everybody's not the same. People can relate to
Exactly.
you, people can relate to me.
Right.
But I was one of those that was ashamed. Like did not want to, say I'm a child of God, right? When I
Right.
was younger. I wanted people to like me. I wanted people to, be friends with me. But you're the
Right.
total opposite. You were not ashamed. So it's
No.
like when you
Yep.
were
But
telling me that, I'm like, really?
right. I didn't care about people pleasing. I was cool. If you didn't like me, that's fine. I had my set of friends and I was cool. It was like maybe two or three of us, that I had people that, I was cool with in school and stuff like that. But like to say you're my friend, that goes deeper. My parents always taught me about understanding the difference between friends and associates, and they drilled that into us at such a young age, knowing that everybody can't be your friend,
Right.
um and that's one of the things that I understood that I had a lot of associates, but only a few people that I can call my friends, who I could rely on, who I could talk to and stuff. So yeah, like I wasn't a people pleaser. I was cool, and I don't know if that's because I'm a middle child or whatever, but I'm a middle child. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's that. I have no idea, but I dealt with shame in my own way. Because I mean, I didn't want people to know I knew Jesus, even though my personality, was like, she's the, goody two shoes or whatever. Like, she ain't out here, doing anything crazy like
Right.
that. But it was just, I don't know. I dealt with shame in my own way. And I remember I was homeschooled. I went to My mom had us going to different schools. So I started out, in school, public school. Then my mom put us in private school. Then she busted us out into a nice neighborhood with, my Caucasian friends. And it wasn't a lot of us that, that looked like me, but it
Right.
was cool. I love the school. It was great. My mom always tried to give us great opportunities.
Okay.
And then I came back to public school, and then my mom and dad, they didn't like how my teachers were, teaching. So they
Hmm.
pulled us out, and I was homeschooled for a while. So when I went back to public school, that was a different thing. And I was, I went to church. I grew up in church, and I remember when I stopped even praying over my food. I didn't see nobody else praying over their food, so I'm just like, oh, I guess we
Mm.
don't pray over our food. So I just chilled back, and I'm just like, okay, and just little things would slip away. And it wasn't because of like peer pressure or anything. It was just like, I don't know, I think it's pressure that I put on myself. It wasn't necessarily anybody saying anything to me, but it was something that I was saying to myself. And then that's when I remember Shane came in with knowing Jesus. Like, I was cool when I was around my friends, at church, but going to school, you know, I didn't really talk about Jesus like that. Um, so that was a thing. That's how I dealt with mine. But like I told you, I hit rock bottom in college. 20, I think I was 21 years old, and I remembered I had a Bible that I used as a coaster, and I'm just like, oh snap! My godmom gave me that Bible before I left for college. Didn't really pick it up like that, and I remembered I picked that thing up, and that's where life began for me. And I
Mm.
started to build a relationship with God, and then it was just like, nah, ain't no way I could be ashamed now. Like, we talk about God, I could talk about God all day because of what He's done for me.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
everybody believes in something, and whatever. Jesus is it for me because He changed my life. Like, I learned how to be free. And that was the thing. I was so wound up and so tight, so like closed up, and I didn't know how to be free. And I remember saying to God when I started going back to church after coming home from college, and I was just like, God, just help me to be able to lift my hands and worship you at church and not be so concerned about what someone might look at me like. And it
Mm.
literally is just me in my head judging myself, you know.
Mm.
So
Yes. Yes.
that so like I said, everybody deals with shame in their own way. But that was, I put shame on myself. So
Right. And another, like, I like what you're saying because our thoughts are not his thoughts. Our ways are not his ways. And
exactly.
an idle mind is a devil workshop. So if you keep your mind on him, he will keep you in perfect peace. And I love,
Exactly.
and when you were talking about the Bible, how you had it as a coaster. Listen, when I used to call my mom, and this is recent. Like, this could have been last year this time, where I was facing problems in life, right? And I'm just like stressed out and crying and getting in the car, and I'm just like, oh my god, what's going on? And I call my mom, and she's like, where's your Bible? And you know what? even in my head, because you know where stuff is in your
Right,
house, right?
right,
I'm like, where is my Bible? I didn't even know where it was. Like, like I use the Bible on my phone, but
right. That's
my
okay.
physical Bible though, I'm like, I don't even know where it's at. And she was like, and then she even said it. She was like, you don't even know where your Bible is, do you? And I was like, like, no, but you know what? When I realized at that moment, I said, Kayla, you gotta do better. You
Right,
gotta, it's gotta be something. It's gotta be something different. Like you can't allow, and that's what happens. Situations start to creep in
right.
and you don't even know how to face them because you're not prepared. But
Exactly.
his word is like it gives you life. And so when those situations come in, like when I went through postpartum, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I shared this briefly, when I went through postpartum, I didn't know where to go or
Right,
what to do.
right,
And I remember I said, Kayla, you got anointing oil and you got your Bible. And that's all I could do. That's my whole entire postpartum. That's all I did. And I was like, and when I overcame it, I said, Kayla, why is it? And that's when I realized, I said, why is it that you only go to God when you need something? Do you like when people only come to you when you need something? Or when they
right.
need something?
Yeah,
Like you got friends or you got family members that only call you when they need something.
right.
How would that feel? And so it says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. So, regardless of what you're going through, what it is, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly, he's telling you rejoice continuously in him.
Exactly. And you know what? I will share this. My mom played a big part in me just even being who I am today too. I remember this conversation that she had with me, and I think I was asking her something, and I had to have been like a teenager, maybe like 15, 16 or something like that, and ask her a question. And she was just like, look, you're going to have to start having a relationship with God for yourself. You're not going to be able to always come to me and ask me these questions. You got to have a relationship with God. I already have one. Now it's time for you to have one for yourself. And it always was in, the back of my mind. And so, like I said, when I hit rock bottom, that's when I began to have a relationship with God, like go to God for things, not going so much to my friends or, anybody else for that type of advice, like really leaning in on him when I was going through things. And at that time, it felt like, my world was crashing around. And I didn't really know what to do. The only thing I knew to do was, hey, God, I'm here. Like, I'm here. And, sometimes there's not even much that you can say. Like, even with
Yes,
praying, you can pray, in your heart. You don't got to say words. It's in your heart. Like, God knows everything there is to know about you. It says that in the word. He knows everything there is to know. He knows feel. He just wants you to, hey, come to me.
express it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Come to me.
yes.
Come to me. Like, let me help you. And however that is, however he helps you, he helps you. But that conversation, was always in the back of my mind. And now, like, seeing myself where I am today, I'm just like, yeah, mom, I took your advice. I decided to have a relationship for myself. And that's one of the things that I want my kids to have. If anything that you can learn from me, I mean, I love business and everything like that. I think business is great, but I'm just like, when you need to know what to do, when you don't know what to do, you need to know who to go to, the big who to
Yes,
go to, not just the
yes,
who's in business and stuff like that. God will direct you
yes.
to those people. He'll open those doors for you, but you need to know the right who, and that's the ultimate who. And I like to
Yes.
model that for them. Like, even with my son, he's 13 years old. And we talk to him just like, man, we want to demonstrate this life, not just tell you these things or tell you, do your devotional and stuff like that. When we're telling you for a reason, but we like to, let our life be a lesson for him, like him seeing
Mm,
us. I know one time we just sat down as a family, talked about our situation. Then we said, hey, we're going to the word about this. What does God say about this? We
I
pray
love it.
together as a family, just instilling those values into them so that when they're going to get in situations that aren't going to be that won't be comfortable, they're going to be challenging. And if you're hard
Mhm.
headed, you'll hit rock bottom. So with
Yeah.
that being said, you need to know who to go to. Like, you need to go to. That's why I tell my mom, just like, mom, like you and dad, y'all did everything. Like I can't be mad at you. Like if y'all did things that I may not have liked, the one thing that y'all did do was introduce us to God. And for that, I'll be
Mm.
forever grateful. So if I can do
Yes.
just that one thing for my kids, like you see me, like mom was always, my son, he respects my morning time. He knows what I'm doing. He before he used to interrupt me, I'm just like, look, I need my time with the Lord. And now he knows he's just like, okay, he'll wait until after I'm done. Hey mom, did you have a great time, spending time with God? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I did. So
Awesome. I love it. And that's, I mean, another, I witnessed my mom. Like, I probably didn't do it or really
right,
start implementing it until I hit rock bottom. And my rock bottom was walking away from everything I knew and allowing him to just make, like, direct my path.
right,
And that was hard. I left a job that was paying me well. That was
right.
my security for 10 years. And when you leave that security or you leave that circle that you're so used to,
Yeah, don't I know?
oh, you listen.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, I mean, it tests you in different ways that you would not even imagine. And then you sometimes like, dang, it wasn't even bad. It wasn't that bad. Maybe I was stressed out every once in a while, but it wasn't even that bad.
Right,
But what I learned, I said, God, I allow myself to get into certain situations. I put myself in certain things, in certain issue, right? So I told him, I said, you know what? Whatever you have for me is for me. If it
right,
ain't for me, I ain't even for it. I ain't gonna fight you on it. I
right.
ain't gonna cry about it. It is what it is. And now I see myself like when things don't happen, or I like want things to go my way and they don't happen my way, I'm not even mad. Like somebody was like, "You're so calm about this," and I'm like, "God got me. I'm good."
Right,
God's
right,
got me. And when you get to that point in your life, when I tell you the stress, it's like I am not even stressed out. I'm not
right,
upset. I'm not mad. And I think a lot of people got to get to that point in their life, like you said, what your mom was saying, that you need to have your personal, not
right,
based off somebody else's. You can hear somebody else's story, but not based off somebody else's, but have your own personal relationship with God.
right. Yeah, man. That's so valuable. Just I'm telling you, like stories for days. Definitely, leave like you said, leaving the familiar and going off on a path that's you don't know what's down the road and stuff. And my personality, I like to know everything. And with being an entrepreneur, it's just like you're not gonna know everything.
No.
And I'm learning along the way. That's why I joined group coaching with Purpose Ways, because I'm just like, man, I know I need a coach. That's what I told kids.
Yes.
I know I need a coach because there are things that I have to overcome. I know God is taking me to a different level, um, expanding my territory and stuff. Even discovering my purpose, like that girl. That discovering my purpose, that was a thing. I don't think I ever told you the story. Just trying to last year I had on my vision board that I want to walk in my purpose. And I was just like, okay, that's on there. And I'm just like, okay, God, how can I get there and stuff? And stuff along the way happened. And I'm just like, okay, God, what am I supposed to be doing? Like what would you have me to do? And so
Right.
what am I good at? Like really, really good at. And I remember me and my husband, we were at this house with a couple of investors that we had met, and they're so cool. And they were doing their first flip and stuff. And so Keith was inside going through the house with the husband. I was in the car with his wife and everything. And she was just like, yeah, my husband just wanted me to meet you and stuff like that. And we just started talking and everything. And just we just had a good conversation. That's what I thought. We had a great conversation. It was really cool. I really liked her. She's an amazing lady. Like this lady, she door knocks, and she a beast out there. And after they were in the house for a while, and then when they finally came out, she had told her husband, she was like, man, you were right about her. I really like her. And then she starts to like almost cry, and I'm looking, I'm like, wait, why are you about to cry? And I'm super confused by like the thing, like she's amazing, telling Keith, I love your wife and stuff. We got to connect and everything, connect more. And I was just like, that's great. And I'm still puzzled because I'm just like, what in the world just happened? And I'm thinking to myself, I get in the car, we leave. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking to myself, and I'm talking to Keith, I'm like, I have no idea what just happened. The only thing I just remember is just talking, just being myself, being Vanessa. And, it had me wondering for a while, like, what is going on? Like, I must have been deeply meditating this because I think the next day we had a challenge came up. I don't even remember what the challenge was, but it was with one of our properties. And it
Mm-hmm.
was so like crazy. Key was just like, look, we're gonna watch something. And we watched this thing with Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, and he
Mm-hmm.
was talking about what do you have in your house. And he was preaching about, if you don't know what God the gifts that God has given you, you need to put a demand on, you need to get to, like, he was like going in, and I felt like, man, he was like screaming it into me, like I need to know what I'm good at. And I was like, okay, you know how Cass don't give us, no slack when it comes to stuff. Like
None.
he'll go in. He's nice, but he'll go in a little bit. So it was like
Yes.
that. But it was something that I needed. And I'm just like, what am I good at? And I was thinking about that. I'm like, God, I'm gonna put a demand on. So I was just like, God, tell me what I'm good at. And so I want to say it was that night I had this dream, and it was so vivid. Like I never had a dream like this before, and it was me in the car with the lady that I was with, and I was watching myself have the conversation with her about, whatever it was that we were talking about. And then
Yeah.
it was like, I'm talking to God at the same time. It was like this knowing, like, I remember saying in my dream, I know what I'm good at. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm watching all of this happen. And I'm also hearing myself say, I know what I'm good at. And it was like something like fell over me, and that knowing came. And then all I remember is God saying, I remembered about in the Bible where it talks about the spiritual gifts, and it talked about the gift of exhortation. And I'm just like, exhortation. And so that was all that I was left with. And I just woke up, that dream, like when I tell you, it was so vivid, and just like the feeling of whatever it was, that it was like something fell over me. And it was like a knowing, like, I know what it is that I'm good, like for real, for real. And so I had
Wow.
thought about it, and I brought it to God. I'm just like, what was that? And so I looked up exhortation, and then I realized that, exhortation means that you're strongly encouraging someone to do something. You're urging them to do something. It's more than just regular encouragement. I call it extreme encouragement. And God just did a flash of my life from the time I was a little girl to being an adult, and seeing all the people who I've ever encouraged before in my life. Like I've been doing this thing since I was a child.
Lord.
And I'm just like,
Yes.
what the world? Like, and then I was just like, I'm gonna sit with this a few days, because I'm just like, Lord, are you sure? And then just it kept, there was confirmation after confirmation that this was it. Like this was the thing. Not saying I don't have any other gifts, because there are other
Yeah.
gifts that I do have. But
Yes.
this thing that I do effortlessly, like the way I do it, it's just like it comes out, and it's not something that I wasn't even aware that I was doing. I didn't even know like this was a thing. And it was just like,
Powerful.
oh my gosh. And I remember, like, even with meeting with Keith, when I met Keith, he was into music. He was doing Christian rap. And I'm just like, if you don't want me to know something about you, like know what you want to do in life, don't tell me. Because if you
Yes.
tell me, I am going to go full force gambit with you, come up with a plan. Like, how can we accomplish this? Give you something practical, like everything. And I
Wow.
realized I had been doing that my whole life. I had been walking in my purpose the whole year without even being conscious of it. And
Mm.
now that I'm aware of it, like even the day that we talked, I got off the phone and I told Keith, I said, Keith, I said, I was there. I was like, I was operating fully in my gifts. Like, because now that I'm aware of it, I'm just
Yes.
like, it was that. I said, I felt that, that glow up from the Lord. I'm just like, Lord, I said, we was there. And I'm just like, it wasn't anything that I'm doing or, bragging about me, it's something that God put on the inside of me. And it's just like, man, I just didn't know. I'm just like, man, I do this. I do it all the time. I can do it with strangers. I do it with my family. Um, I try
I
not to
love
come,
it.
really strong and stuff, but it's just like, man, when I hear it, I hear people's vision. I'm just like, man. And then you just talking. I'm just like, let's do it. What are we waiting for? Let's do it. You know?
Yes.
So
Yes. I love it. And that's how you, and when you approach me, so when I'm struggling and I don't have like that clarity of, okay, where do I, and I like, I know you're like a phone call away, right?
right.
So I want to see, okay, so like there's going to be people to watch this in the near future. If they're suffering through something like that, you can help them overcome, like they don't know, where to go, they have a vision but don't know how to get there. How can they get in contact with you, so that you can kind of help navigate them and help them along the way?
Okay. My Facebook, of course, Vanessa Bell. Um, and what else? I have an Instagram too. I got to get on there more often. I get so focused on what it is that I'm doing that I forget to put myself out there. It's I am Vanessa Bell. They can get in contact with me there, DM me. Um, and I think those are about the two places, like my Facebook and my Instagram. That's what I have now. I'm trying to remember. I gotta be intentional about putting
Yes.
myself out there and allowing God to, use me. When I feel the spirit and I'm in my study, I'll go and post a video if He's saying I need you to go talk about this. I'll go out there and do it. But just being consistent with it. I gotta do that more. I gotta do it.
Absolutely.
It's probably what, something you can hold me accountable for. Vanessa, what are you doing? Do something weekly or something. Get out there, like encourage somebody, let them know you there, something. So
Yes. Amen. Listen, we look, don't tell me that because I'm gonna do it, because I know you're gonna do it for
I
me, so I'm gonna do
know,
it for
I
you.
know. I'm looking to be stretched this year and go out my comfort zone. So look, if I'm saying it for a reason because I already know the result that
Yes.
has to happen. So
Yes. So, one last question. If you was to tell somebody that is suffering through things that you have encountered, either currently or it's coming up or what have you, what is some encouraging words or words in general that you would give that person?
mm, what can I say? Um, and look, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be
Mm,
okay, and you're gonna get through it. Like you gotta get through it. Like don't quit. Uh, okay, 3 words: keep moving forward.
I
Keep
love
moving
it.
forward. Those that that's been the mantra for the last year, especially stepping out of my comfort zone. My husband asked me to come home and do this, partner with him in what we're doing. Keep moving forward because you're going to face challenges. um you're going like it's going to come, like it's inevitable that we live in a fallen world, like stuff happens. You got to keep moving forward and then get back up. Keep moving forward and get back up. When you get knocked down, that's okay. Get back up. You're only a failure if you stay laying down in the mud. Get back up.
Mm, I
Those
love it.
that's what I got. That's what I got.
I love it. And I mean, look, this was great because I mean, we even went based off of it, and some of them weren't even questions. So,
Right.
thank you. I mean, like we could go on. We're look how
Right.
many? It was like one of our calls lasted like 2 hours.
Right.
So, look, we could go on, but we ain't gonna do that. We for the sake of time, we're not gonna do that. But thank you. This was helpful. I know for a fact that somebody can benefit from the things that you like, your life story in general. Like, you have helped me in so many ways. And I am forever grateful for just meeting you. When I seen you that first time, I said, oh, yeah, we got to connect. And then you already know we be like, but this is the thing. And I want to elaborate on us. Okay. We met through um the mindset community, Purpose Ways community with Keston Glasgow. Amazing guy, right?
Right.
And I'm a jokester, okay? I can't be in the same room with Vanessa. We can't. Like right now, we're at the professional because, like, we on here and we trying to, we had to get like
Right.
even before we even got started, I had to change my clothes. Like y'all don't understand. Y'all don't, this sister right here keeps me on my toes, and I love it because she brings out the best of me. So when I tell y'all we be cutting up in that purpose way, they're gonna kick us out.
Right.
They're gonna just put us in the waiting room. Y'all need to wait over there. Like y'all be doing too much. I mean, but you have
Exactly.
whatever you do, have fun. You need to have fun, make it exciting, because if it's boring, you're not going to want to do it. If you're
Exactly.
taught with God, like if you wake up and like, oh, I don't want to pray today because, but if you
Right.
make it exciting, like make it something you want to do, play your favorite song, whatever that thing is for you, right? You don't have to be like everybody else, have a prayer closet, make it sentimental for you. That's how
Exactly.
you grow. It's not about me. It's not about Vanessa. It's about how you can grow and make it fun. I love to have fun. I joke a lot. We be playing.
Right.
We ain't gonna go into that because we'll be here all day. But again, Miss Vanessa Bell, thank you so much for this amazing, just allowing me to just interview you. I know this is not your comfort zone. You got out of your comfort. You look beautiful
Right.
today.
Thank you. Look, I
No
gotta
problem.
thank you for asking me to do it. I'm trying to say yes to more things like this. Like I said, stepping out my comfort zone. So this was great. It was an honor to do it. It was fun too. I
It
didn't
was
even know
fun.
how this was gonna go. The only thing I said was, Lord, speak through my mouth. I don't know what to say. She's gonna probably ask me something. I have no idea what's gonna happen. But you know what? I know you'll give me the words to say, and
Yes.
it's gonna come out right. So yeah, I'm
This
so
was
excited. This
amazing.
was fun.
This was amazing. So we're gonna have fun. We got a call in the next 30 minutes.
Right?
So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to get out of these clothes. They went, what are y'all? Why are y'all so dressed up? Y'all get out of church
Right.
or something?
Look, I'm cute, so I think I might keep mine on because I'm too cute
You
right
are
now. So I
cute.
gotta I gotta keep it going.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Miss Vanessa Bell, for just this opportunity. And look, this platform is always open to you. So if you want to come on here for another segment, just let me know. And we're gonna we're
Definitely.
gonna we're gonna grow together. So thank you.
You're
And anything
welcome.
else you wanted? Any final words?
No, just go live, enjoy life. That's it. Like go after your dreams.
Awesome.
Do something that makes you happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without without further ado, I can't say anything else. Look, I'm over here getting tongue tied. Listen, this is the end, y'all. This is Miss Vanessa Bell, the exclusive. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. Nowhere
No
else. The exclusive interview with Miss Vanessa Bell. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And tell your lovely family I said hello. And I will see y'all on another side. Be blessed.
Hi.
Bye.